So one of the trends I've been watching out in the world, because for those of you who aren't familiar with my work, a lot of what I do is see what everybody else is doing and then go to museums and say, hey, this is happening. Here's how it could apply to what's happening to you or what you might do. And one of the things I'm watching is what has been dubbed the Great Resignation. You may have read of it. Has been a mass exodus of labor during the pandemic. Not all of it layoffs, a lot of it voluntary, either because people had to go take care of family or homeschool their kids, or because they didn't feel safe at work, or because they realized the trade-off they were making for what was a relatively crappy job. Can I say that? Crappy job wasn't worth what they were getting from it. And it's very extreme in Japan. This is led to the phenomenon of lying down, of basically saying, I'm not going to go have this high-powered career where I'm expected to study all day for exams or work 90 hours a week. I'm just going to be a flaneur. I'm going to figure out how I can get just enough to live with and enjoy my life, even if that's playing video games. So one industry that's being profoundly disrupted by this Great Resignation is the restaurant industry, which I've always thought was a very interesting sector to look at for contrast to museums, because when you think about it in a weird way, we have a lot of things in common. A lot of restaurants start because somebody has a vision for what they want to do. A lot of people who start restaurants don't look around and say, you know what this neighborhood needs? It needs a Peruvian restaurant. They say, it's always been my passionate feeling that I want to start a museum about, Nouvelle American cuisine, and I'm going to do it. And a lot of the people who work in restaurants are a combination of either people who are really driven by passion, they're willing to be a chef, they're willing to work crazy hours and have very low pay, or they're people who are passionate about something else they're doing, like being an actor or a writer, and they need a very flexible day job, or they have very few options because they're undocumented labor and they can get a job as a dishwasher. I'll let you draw your own parallels to how that lines up to the museum sector, but there are parallels. So what's happening now is a lot of people are saying, this was crazy, this was unsustainable, it was unfair, and there may be a fundamental reset. And the fact is, in the future, there may be fewer restaurants and food may cost more, and it should, because to pay people adequately and to have a really equitable and ecologically sustainable food system, what we're buying and what we're paying for and what you recompense their labor for, it shouldn't be a bunch of restaurants trying to underprice each other, because if you offer your tapas for $3 instead of $2.50, they're going to go eat at the other place. You should be saying, no, this is what it costs. And maybe eating out is something special and it's a treat and people do it less often, but it's going to provide good, stable jobs and there will be fewer restaurants. Okay, I promise to bring this back to museums.